it is beneficial to us to use natural gas as a fuel. Amongst natural gas, CNG is the least polluting. From this data, we can easily understand that by use of a vehicle, by moving 100 km of a vehicle, by using petrol, diesel, LPG and CNG, and the emission of CO2, unsaturated hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide and sulfur oxide, we see that the CNG is creating least pollution to the environment, which is beneficial to us and also good for our health also. So we thought CNG, we should use CNG that is least polluting. Now where we should apply natural gas? Natural gas is limited availability in India. So Supreme Court has decided that on priority basis, natural gas should be provided to those areas which are in power sector and in fertilizer sectors. Entirely due to environment concern, natural gas is used in sensitive areas like Agra, Firozabad and Delhi, such that the pollution may be declined. So to protect our historical places like Taj Mahal, it is very useful to provide natural gas to Agra such that our historical places may be protected. Natural gas used in India in 2002-03, the availability of natural gas was 30 billion cubic meter, and out of total 110,000 megawatt of power capacity generation, 11,700 megawatt power generation capacity is gas based, while by fertilizer production capacity 15 million metric ton per annum, MMTPA, million metric ton per annum, 10 million metric ton per annum was fertilizer production capacity. In this sector, 75% of natural gas is sold. Now natural gas used in India. Other use of natural gas are in petrochemical industries, steel production, glass and ceramic industries, tea gardens also have a use of natural gas. 2.4 million metric ton per annum LPG is produced from natural gas. That is about 30% of total LPG production in India. How is natural gas stored? Natural gas is how stored and how delivered to us. First of all, natural gas is excavated from the gas wells and oil, then separation is done of oil and water, then vented and flared gases are excavated away. One pipeline goes to natural gas processing plant and the products removed, non-hydrocarbon gases are removed. The other line goes to main line by 20% from automobile. So it is very much important that Delhi should provide natural gas so that Delhi should be pollution free. Nowadays, Delhi is the world's largest CNG bus fleet, having 15,000 buses taking mini and RTVs together. So that Delhi is breathing clean air. What is dual fuel? We should use natural gas by this phenomena. First of all, in the combustion chamber, the gas injector, the combination of methane and air collectively goes to combustion chamber by inlet port. Then the air and methane gas mixture is compressed in the combustion chamber. Then after that, the piston moves to the upper half, that is top dead center, and reduced amount of diesel is injected so that the diesel may ignite and the combustion of methane and air collectively combust. Then normally the mixture exits the cylinder as normal as the exhaust stroke, that is the normal in diesel and petrol engine having. Now the comparison is made of mileage by using gasoline, diesel, LPG and CNG in car, three-wheeler and bus. By using car and a fuel as a gasoline, 15 km per liter is the mileage. In three-wheeler it is 35 km per liter, while in CNG it is 20 km per kilogram, 47 km per kilogram in three-wheeler and 40.1 km per kilogram. So it is obvious that we should use CNG, which is beneficial, cheaper and safer also. Why CNG? Because CNG is environment friendly, economical and safer to us, and also for our health also. Now at last, I would conclude that the natural gas burns more cleanly rather than other fossil fuels, and the emission of sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide is minimum in this natural gas. So we should use natural gas and other non-conventional source like wind energy, solar energy. Almost wind energy is the best way in India, in the world. It is in fifth largest position in the wind energy after Germany, France, Spain and China. It is fifth position in the world. Now safer aspect of CNG, it is lighter in air and event leak it will rise and disperse in atmosphere, so it is very safer to us. And ignition of combustible range is 5% to 15%. High ignition temperature of CNG is at 540 degrees centigrade. CNG cylinders are structurally more sound and have passed through EV severe test. And one survey is also done. Out of 8,000 vehicles in USA, reported 34% less injury per vehicular mile traveled. So it is very much good for us to use the natural gas as a fuel. Thank you.
To discuss about our final year project, which is case study of boiler used in thermal power plant. We are doing this project under the guidance of Dr. S.D. Pandey sir, the director of our college. But before starting the presentation, I would like to introduce you with my teammates. Me, please, Pushpendra, Amit Kumar Gupta, and Sunil Kumar Maurya. Yes, but now I would like to illustrate the presentation just with a little overview of a video, which is of the working of a coal power plant. Yes.
Educational video series. Half of the world's electricity is generated by coal power plants, and there are close to 3,000 large coal power plants around the world. In this video, we're going to show you how these controversial yet indispensable power plants work. The idea behind the power plant in this...
Yes, as you can see the video, you might have got a little bit idea that what are the things going to be discussed in this presentation. First of all, let's have the contents which I and my friends will discuss. First is introduction to the boilers. Second is Indian boiler regulations. Third is types of boilers. Then comes research and studies which has been conducted into these fields. And finally, our objectives. And the last point is energy analysis. Electricity is provided in the country with the use of various sources, such as thermal power plant, the sources such as solar energy, coal energy, and etc. Now let's have that thermal power plant uses coal as a source. Nuclear power plant uses nuclear elements such as uranium as a source. Hydraulic power plant uses water as a source. Biogas power plant uses byproducts, rice husk, straws, etc. Now the last is solar power plant, which is also a renewable source of energy, which is an everlasting source. Here you can see the graph presenting the production capacity of the various sources in past years and upcoming years. Here you can see that this graph shows the contribution by coal, and so here you can see that in every year coal is the major contributor, or rather the highest contributor of energy production. Now the second point comes for the gas. This violet line. The second contributor is gas. The third one is coal. Fourth one is nuclear, and fifth one is this one is oil. And the least contributor of the energy production is biomass. Now comes to the boiler. Boiler is an enclosed vessel which converts water into steam by hot flue gases, which when these gases pass through the water tubes consisting in the boiler, and when the water in the boiler gets heated and converts into steam, the volume of the steam increases up to 1600 times, which is as explosive as a gunpowder. Means the force exerted by this steam is as explosive as a gunpowder. Therefore, it is the thing it is to be taken care of, because the boiler, if not handled carefully, can be a dangerous equipment as well. Heat is transferred through radiation, conduction and convection. And larger the heating surface of the boiler, the more efficient it becomes. Here, as we know that the thermal power plant works on the Rankine cycle, which has two adiabatic processes and two isobaric processes. Here we can see the TS diagram of Rankine cycle. Here we can see, as we are here, the process 1 to 2 is an adiabatic process, 2 to 3 is an isobaric process, that is a constant pressure process, 3 to 4 is again an adiabatic process, and 4 to 1 is again isobaric process. Now, here is the point, Indian boiler regulations. You might have got some idea about regulations. Indian boiler regulations is the rules and regulations that is considered while making the boiler and the mountings. As Indian boiler regulation says, and it was created under the sections 28 and 29 of the Indian Boilers Act. Indian boiler regulations all says that boiler is nothing but any vessel whose volume increases, whose capacity increases by 22.75 liters, as you can see here, in capacity, and includes some mountings, that is some mountings and the accessories are attached to it, and the sole goal of that particular closed vessel is to generate the steam. So all that is that these are the parameters on which the boiler is decided according to the Indian boiler regulations. Now coming to the steam pipes. Steam pipe is again any pipe which through which the steam flows from boiler to the prime mover or user, both. But here is also a condition of the steam that the pressure, if the pressure of the steam inside the pipe exceeds by 3.5 kg per centimeter square, and the internal diameter of that particular pipe through which the steam is flowing should be exceeding 254 millimeter in the internal diameter. And this is all from my side, and I would like to call my friend Mr. Pushkin Upadhyaya to proceed the presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adil. Now from here, I will carry forward. Here's the data of an industrial boiler, which has a production capacity of 500 megawatt. It is taken from an Obra power plant. First one is the steam temperature, which is 525 degrees centigrade. Steam pressure is 88 kg per centimeter square. Then the steam flow is 75 ton per hour. Mass flow rate of fuel is 4.167 kg per second. The mass flow rate of water is 23.88 kg per second. Then the turbine power is 500 megawatt. Ambient temperature, which we can consider as outside temperature of an industry. Then the temperature of a flue gas is 275 degrees centigrade, which is sufficient to convert the water in saturated state. Here's the type of a boiler. First one is a horizontal boiler, vertical and inclined boiler. Fire tube, water tube boiler. In fire tube boiler, in the tube the steam is passed and over it the water flow and get converted into steam. In water tube boiler, water is passed in through the tube and steam flow over it. In externally fired and internally fired boiler. In externally fired boiler, furnace is placed outside the boiler shell, and in internally fired boiler, furnace is placed inside the shell. Then the forced circulation, natural circulation boiler, then high, medium and low pressure boiler, then stationary boiler and portable boiler, and single tube boiler and multi-tube boiler. There's a flow chart of how heat flow in a boiler. Here we can see that fuel is burned in the presence of air, which produces the heat which is taken in the boiler, and the water is converted into the steam, which does the work on the turbine. And the residue gases, known as the flue gases, which is discharged in the atmosphere. Here's the firing system in the furnace. How the firing system done in the furnace. All the four corners are been fired, through which the pulverized coal is been fired. You can see primary air and fuel. with the fuel, air is also passed, and here's the secondary air, which means that the induced fan is being implemented to throw the air for the burning. Next one. Here are the research and the studies. Usually, many researchers and studies are conducted by the scientists is focused on how to increase the efficiency of the boiler rather than on the design of the boiler. Since the boiler has been designed by the manufacturing process, welding process, and it is manufactured and it is maintenance is done at a regular interval so that the leakage should not be allowed from its surface. And researches all around the world is carried out on exergy to evaluate the performance and to point out the main location of the losses so that the optimum performance can be done. And exergy method is developed in USSR, Europe, Germany, Poland from year 1960. It is the first law of thermodynamics in which we analyze the energy, but it does not give the quality of the energy, which means that how much useful work can be done from energy. Then second law comes into existence. Exergy is the result of a second law of thermodynamics. Then what the exergy means? Exergy means potential of a energy which can do useful work at a specified state. Unlike energy, exergy cannot be conserved, but it only destroyed. Here the two scientists, Verkiver and Kosoy, performed exergy analysis on a power plant. Then Osdimer performed an exergio-economic analysis of fluidized pet coal. He uses rice husk, straw and other things as a fuel for the power plant.